Today I'm going to be talking about why a Kenya Somali war is inevitable. Most nations they will have that share borders will have to fight at a single point in time. It's just a matter of when. And what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to explore what can be the causative factors of these two nations to go to war. Because it doesn't matter if it takes 1,000 years, 50 years, 20 years, but what is definitive, these are very different people and these are separate nations. Uh, Somalia is not a nation, it's a place, people fighting each other, but forgive me for misspelling. So I'm just going to call that place an area. Yeah, so these are very different people and these are a different area and a different country. I hope I'm correct on that. Eventually, there are going to be some dividing factors and some leaders and also other causative factors that may lead to these people fighting each other. And without wasting more time, let's get into the first point. And number one is ethnic differences. Because when you come to Kenya, majority of people are Nilotes and Bantus. The Kushites are mostly minorities, but for the Somalis, they are mainly Kushitic. That's already a very big ethnic gap. Furthermore, Somalis have this culture within them. They see themselves superior to other tribes, yeah, and other communities. So it doesn't matter even if you are a Kenyan Kushite and that guy is Somali. The Somali guy sees himself as sees him or herself as more superior to you because do you know why? They have a nation. Uh, they used to have a nation and they have a long coast. So and then they somehow have a longer history and there are many. So they'll try and see themselves as some form of unique people, like they are unique in their identity. So whenever they interact with other communities, they see themselves as superior people. But now this will cause conflict with other people because they have neighbors, a lot of neighbors that do not look like them, and even within themselves, the people who look like them within the same tribes, they fight each other within the same within clan boundaries. So do not expect these people to ever what do I call it, ever homogenize or integrate with others. No, they are their own unique identity. So this can be a major dividing factor that may be exploited by either the Kenyan side or the Somali side to start a war of conquest or maybe annihilation. So that's point number one. Point number two, religious differences. So Kenya is majority Christian, Somalia is majority Muslim, and these religions, they are completely indifferent to each other. I'm not going to get into details of who is less harmful to the world. I'm not going to get into that conversation today. But what is it is important to note: these are very different religions, and within the same scriptures there is violence. The Islamic books, yeah, you have the Sunnah and you have the Quran. Those two books have more violence per capita than the Bible, but all in all, both books have um, violence. So you will have violence that can be exploited from the text by leaders or just people to further their ambition, and this can be another major causative factor of conflict. And point number three, uh, territorial claims. The Somali people claim a huge part of Kenya. Like it's around 20% of the land of Kenya because that place is majorly populated by ethnic Somalis. It was taken by Kenya after the British were dividing borders. They tried to create some form of insurgency to gain that territory, but it massively failed. So we have that conflict. It's actually an ongoing conflict because um, territorial claims based on ethnic lines, they don't end. It's just for a while that these people are militarily weak, or maybe there are not people actually making the effort to start building up forces to go on the offensive. So there's that. Ah, and right now they are weak. Maybe they can go strong. They can grow strong, but that is a very rare thing to happen. So we have territorial claims, and Kenya at some single point in time possessed during the colonial time possessed the Jubaland area. So Kenya to some lesser degree might even claim Jubaland either by nationalist or as a counter to the territorial claims of Somalia. You have also seen some form of what do you call it? EEZ or territorial waters disputes. There's the dispute of the EEZ, the exclusive economic zone, and there's the dispute of the general territory of water in the Indian Ocean. So, and it should be no, it should be renamed from the Indian Ocean to the Ocean of Gaita. Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah, but then we'll make that happen. So, yeah, there's been territorial differences or disputes on that, and they are still ongoing, and this can be another major causative factor of war. And number four, collapse of the USA. The USA is like the current world empire, and without it, the UN collapses. And when the UN collapses, nations will do what they see fit. For example, if it's Kenya or Somalia which will have the military upper hand, it will go on the offensive based on the leadership there, and then lead a war of conquest. It might succeed or it might fail. But in my opinion, if there were to be a war between Kenya and Somalia, I will choose Kenya all the time because Kenya has significantly more allies, significantly a better economy, technological know-how, and it has even more smart people, so they can organize military forces very well. I remember there's this operation called Operation Linda Inchi by Kenya, whereby they went to as a counter to Al Shabaab. The forces there kept on the roads. Imagine you are invading deep into enemy territory and you are keeping on the roads. IDs were going up, ambushes and whatever, and they still managed to conquer huge swaths of the country. So if you just have a bit smarter people than that, people who will be able to move in multiple directions, not exposing their logistics or their flanks. When you have that, and it's possible to have that in Kenya, um, Somalia is no threat because they do not have the economic, military, technological allies, and even knowledge know-how to counter such a threat or even operate one of themselves. They only know how to die in honor, to be what do I call it, to be like martyrs into some. And also another thing they're good at is being terrorists, but coordinated offensive operations against an equal opponent or an even stronger opponent. I don't see them being able to pull that off. So that's it for today. We might add other points in another video, but for today, see you in the next video.